welcome back to yet another political episode. So we got big news in Egypt. So on the 10th of December, on the 12th, the 12th through the 10th through the 12th of December, Egypt had an election, a presidential election to see if the incumbent President Sisi, could win a third term as president. We knew right away that President Sisi was going to win re-election. What's to say? Number one, he won by 89.6% of the popular vote. Why is that? Well, the thing is, you gotta realize that Sisi is actually a dictator of Egypt. Yes, he is getting reelected into office, but he is ruling with an authoritarian type of style. And most likely, what we're seeing here, Egypt's elections are most likely kind of fraudulent. As you'll see, they're not as secure as the United States elections. So, to have a really good, fair election is extremely hard for Egypt. Now, I have this page up. It's a list of right-wing dictators. Egypt is currently under one, and you'll see Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is the only right-wing dictator. He is an independent. And I don't know if you were to ask, hey, are you more of a conservative? I think he'd say yes, he would agree. But if you say, are you far right? Depending on if that's a compliment or not, he might say yes or he might say no, depending on if the word far right is to him a negative slogan. Now, not necessarily. Now, him in the average Egyptian's belief, average Egyptian point of view in political politics, Egypt believes anything that's far right is in the likes of the jihad or jihadists or the Taliban, while the far left mainly consists of China and the influence of China and basically social Islamic socialism. So yes, that's how they differentiate between the far left and the far right. Yes, but yes, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, he's apparently more in the neutral. He did make the lines with the Nation's Future Party. If he had to choose a political party, this probably would be the political party um, would that would go for him. Yes, it doesn't really have the ideology, but this basically, it's basically standing for Egyptian nationalism, economic liberalism, and militarism. But yeah, he's not an official member, but this party is an ally of the Sisi regime, as we know. So, and I want to also talk about. I know it's not much to talk about because we knew Sisi was going to get reelected. I mean, seriously, he has huge influence over the country, and he had very minimal opposition by Hazem Omar, who comes from the more left-wing Republican People's Party, easily defeated, only getting 4.49% of the popular vote. But let's talk about some history. So we know Egypt was kind of okay. List of presidents of Egypt. I'm sure there were only few because we know Egypt was a monarchy when it was independent. Just a monarchy. I believe it was a constitutional monarchy. But then guess what? A coup d'etat took place in 53. And that led to wait, was it 53? Okay. But basically all I know is there was a revolution. Oh yeah, this more was catch-all political ideology. Republic of Egypt, nevertheless. Either you Egyptians who know history, you can inform me on this. You don't know everything, but we do know that the monarchy did fall apart in 1953. Whether socialism arrived in Egypt like that, or it came later on, is something needs to be researched. I will not do it now because we're running out of time. But yes, the monarchy collapses in 1953. Liberation rallies, prominently the big thing. And apparently, yes, it's until Gamal Abdel Nasser. And that makes sense. Nasser, originally a Liberation Rally member, he now is more of a socialist. He's an Islamic socialist. And he takes power from being elected in 1956. He then makes a union with Syria, creating the United Arab Republic. So this more decade-long republic, 13-year republic between Egypt and Syria, was a socialist state aligned with the Soviet Union. Basically, the UAR only saw Nasser and Anwar Sadat as the presidents of the republic. Yes, you'll see there's the Arab Socialist Union. But after the fall of the Republic of Egypt, Egypt and Syria went on their separate ways in 1951. Sadat, I believe the ASU kind of collapsed, and it kind of transformed to the National Democratic. I don't think it transformed, or it was preceded. Oh yes, preceded. So yes, it turned into the more of the National Democratic Party. Today it's a big tent political party, but yes, it was a part of the Socialist International. But yes, Sadat, this party politically dominates until 2011, when a military junta takes over, and this is when Egypt becomes more of a populistic right-wing country. This guy, who doesn't really have a guy. Chairman was mainly Mohammed Tantawi, but he mainly was the big guy here. But yes, you have freedom and justice. This was an Egyptian Islamist nationalist political party leaning right-wing. Ever since then, you got however, Mohammed Morsi only saw power 1 year. And then Adli Mansour, only 339 days. And then in 2014, the populist Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, who takes power and holds the ring ever since. So yes, that's Egyptian political history for you. Anyway, what do you guys think? Anyway, I want to let you guys know, you might be wondering, oh, dictator, we think that's bad. Well, believe it or not, the United States is friendly to many dictatorships. Many dictatorships include Egypt. And it's true, we are friendly with the Egyptian. We wouldn't call them a dictatorship. They're definitely an authoritarian government sort of thing, very authoritarian. But in the United States, we would call that a dictatorship. Freedom is restricted, very repressive sort of thing. But yes, we are an ally of Egypt, and it's pretty good that we are. We kind of have to be allied with Egypt, because if we were not allied with Egypt, whole war would break out between Egypt and Israel. Ever since we aligned ourselves with Egypt, the hostility between Egypt and Israel has decreased by a lot. And now Egypt and Israel are talking. And now Egypt is actually getting less biased. And now they're actually admitting, yeah, Hamas, Palestine, you're not real. That was a kind of stupid idea that you did, attacking Israel. Like, they openly admitted it. So, what are your thoughts on the victory of Sisi? Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next political episode.